Even though I talked about Kemba being a great competitor defensively, I'm going to try to attack him. Whoever he's guarding, I want that guy to make a play.
Shot clock is off. Norman Powell, the ball in his hands. Tatum denying Lowry. Powell against Walker. 5 seconds to go. Powell pulls up three-pointer. Won't go. Rebound Smart. Double overtime. Smart to Tatum. Tatum off the bounce. Stripped by Powell. Powell with one man to beat. Drives into Smart. Count it and the foul.
You got to tell him there's no help. Sending him to his right. Send him middle and get help.
Lowry falling away. Got it.
I think we just watched one of the greatest playoff games yet in the entire NBA playoffs. Watching the Toronto Raptors go up against the Boston Celtics and winning just barely by 3 in double overtime was absolutely remarkable. But there's one thing I noticed while I was watching the game. Now, before we get to that, guys, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on my notifications to help the channel grow. And I also live stream on twitch.tv/FlightMike on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 9 p.m. Pacific time. I usually play video games with subscribers whenever I do live stream, and a link to that is in the description down below as well. Now that we got all of that out of the way, cue the intro. I am absolutely in awe that the Toronto Raptors are putting up this much of a fight, and I understand that the Miami Heat would be favored against either the Toronto Raptors or the Boston Celtics, and let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. I feel like they match up really well with both, but in general, I think that there's something to be said about both of these teams that I realize. The first thing I want to talk about is Kyle Lowry. We always gave Kyle Lowry a bad rap for not really showing up in the playoffs, but dude, today he really stepped up. In a game where Pascal Siakam only made 20% of his shots and went 0 for 5 from 3 for 12 points, but somehow got a plus-minus of +10. Someone explain to me how on earth plus-minus works, because Pascal Siakam has 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 3 turnovers, and somehow came out +10. But meanwhile, Kyle Lowry went 12 of 20 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3 with 33 points. He had 1 turnover, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds, and was absolutely remarkable in his playoff performance against the Boston Celtics. Norman Powell as well. Coming off of the bench, Norman Powell put up 6 of 11 shooting, 3 for 6 for 3, 23 points, had 1 block, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Honestly, just watching this Raptors team, the entire time I was thinking of one thing. And I know Kawhi Leonard is doing his thing. I know he's probably really successful on the Clippers. And I know the Clippers are probably going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. But still, I can't help but feel like if Kawhi Leonard stayed in Toronto, he would have won so many championships, or at least made it to so many championships, so many NBA Finals, rather, excuse me. Because the East would have ran through the Toronto Raptors after winning that one NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors. I really believe that. I still can't believe he left. And I don't care if he wanted to grow his brand in Los Angeles. Toronto has Drake. I'm sure Drake would have made it work out for you, Kawhi. Now, look, I'm not trying to turn this into a Kawhi Leonard rant video. It's just, he would have been the face of the Raptors. His supporting cast alone is pushing the Boston Celtics to Game 7 in the second round of the NBA playoffs. They're a game away from making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. There's something to be said about that. This team is literally a superstar away from being the team in the East. And I don't want to get into the Giannis and Antetokounmpo talks. We've talked about Giannis way too much, but I was just watching the Raptors and thinking, dang, this is your squad when Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry are the face of the franchise. Imagine if you had a superstar again, like a bona fide two-way star like Kawhi Leonard. I hope you're watching, Giannis. I'm trying to give you an idea. But this isn't only about the Toronto Raptors. This is also about the Boston Celtics, because what I was watching, and I knew this coming into the game, but when I was watching the Boston Celtics, I was absolutely in shock about how incredible Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown were playing. This was a game where Kemba Walker was supposed to step up and put the Boston Celtics on his back. And you know how he did that? With 5 points on 2 for 11 shooting, 1 for 6 from 3, with 7 assists and 4 rebounds and 3 turnovers. Now, this isn't a Kemba Walker roast because Pascal Siakam had a bad game. Kemba Walker had a bad game. Jason Tatum had a remarkable game, almost 30 points. Jaylen Brown had a remarkable game, 31 points, although he shot 33% from the field or like 40% from the field, made 4 of 13 of his threes. He notched 16 rebounds. Jaylen Brown consistently improves more and more each and every game. And I really like the Boston Celtics for the simple reason that they're not a team that is based around one superstar. They're not a top-heavy team. It's not like they're the Lakers where they have 2 superstars like leading a bunch of other role players. This is just a bunch of really good basketball players led by a very good head coach in Brad Stevens, just getting it done. And they left it all out on the court. They're still my favorite to win the series. And the scary part is, they haven't even reached their fullest potential yet. Bear in mind, Jason Tatum has only been in the NBA for 3 years. Jaylen Brown has only been in the NBA for 4 years. Kemba Walker is a little bit of a veteran, but not so much in the playoffs. You have to bear in mind that Kemba Walker I don't even think he's even been to the playoffs. Maybe he's been to 1 playoffs. Bear in mind, this is a guy that was on the freaking Hornets for his entire career up until this year. So I will cut him some slack whenever he doesn't show up in the playoffs. But when you look at this entire roster, from Daniel Tice all the way to Jason Tatum, every player contributed except the bench didn't really do that much. The starters really put the team on their back. So what I'm trying to say here is neither team should be ashamed, especially the Celtics. They put it all out there, and they haven't even reached their ceiling yet. The scary thing about the Boston Celtics is they have a top 15 draft pick this year as well. And I don't know what they're doing in terms of cap space, but if their players develop a little bit more, I'm thinking that they're going to start making NBA Finals runs sooner rather than later. Now, if you want to ask me what my projection is and what I think is going to happen at the end of the series, I actually think the Celtics are going to take this one. I know the Raptors are probably a little bit more experienced and, they made a deeper run last year. They probably have a little bit more of a chip on their shoulder because their star player left them. But the Boston Celtics I'm just waiting for them to take that next step. They were able to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals in Jason Tatum's rookie year, and this is the year for them to do it again. Now, if they do make it there, I still think the Miami Heat are now the favorite to come out of the East, but regardless, I still think that Jason Tatum probably has the more of the ability to take over in late game situations like we saw tonight. I don't really expect Norman Powell to be hitting clutch threes all series long. I'm actually surprised that a bench player took over the game in the manner that he did. And the fact that he did is absolutely remarkable. So I'm really happy with what I saw all in all. I thought originally when the NBA was going to do this bubble thing, I thought that every player was going to be so freaking rusty that it wasn't even going to be watchable. How could you resume the NBA playoffs after a 5 month or after a 3 month hiatus? Well, you have to give props to the NBA. They were able to do it, and the results are pretty freaking awesome so far. That was definitely one of the better games in the NBA playoffs, and if you guys enjoy these little recap videos that I do at the very end of these games, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on my notifications. Make sure you check me out on Twitch. And if you want to see me going absolutely bonkers, follow me on Twitter, because that's where you'll get my instant reactions to the games. Aside from that, I'm your boy, TheFlightMike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.